23rd anniversary of that horrible attack on our freedom. That we remember the people that lost their lives, as well as the individuals who's the survivors, as well as everybody else that was impacted by that terrible tragedy. Thank you. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Hereby call this meeting of the Monongalia County Commission to order. It is Wednesday, September 11th, 2024 at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Let the record reflect that Commissioner Arnett and Commissioner Sikora are present. And before we move on, just a little bit of housekeeping. Last week when I started the meeting, I actually said it was September 5th. Obviously, it was September 4th. So for somebody seeing the meeting out there, and nobody pointed it out. Nobody caught it. I just happened to catch it whenever I was going through my notes and noted that I had September 5th written down. So anyhow. Just wanted to point that out. So first item on the agenda is consent approval with our County Administrator, Renata McClure. Good morning, Renata.
Good morning, Renata.
Morning. You have 26 exonerations for $11,089.40. One request for creation of a new statement, $1,622.70. Minutes from September 4th, 2024. Vouchers, General County Fund, $153,144.49. 911, $8,202.93, Chestnut Ridge Park, $5,295.01, Camp Muffley, $2,967.41, Mason-Dixon Park, $1,455.91, Assessor's Valuation, $2,014.78, Payroll, $1,849,756.47, Morgantown Industrial TIF, $80,244.99, ARPA, $3,497.34, Purchasing card vouchers, General County, $14,380.03. Chestnut Ridge Park, $533.34. Camp Muffley, $179.70. Mason-Dixon Park, $281.70. Assessor's Valuation, $788.50 for a voucher total of $2,122,742.60. There's no budget revisions. Position vacancies for boards and authorities are listed on the website, and fiduciary orders for September 11th, 2024.
Do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda items as presented?
So moved.
I'll second that. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any other additional fiduciary items?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Next item on the agenda is introduction of new employee personnel changes.
I do not know of any.
Okay.
2 weeks in a row.
There's none on the agenda. Comments from the public. Now open the comments of the public session of the meeting. Anybody wishing to be heard, raise their hand and come forward. Okay, seeing none. Go ahead and close comments from the public. Next item on the agenda is grants. There are none. Okay, we're moving right along. Correspondence. Press release from Visit Mountaineer Country CVB regarding the 25th anniversary of Mylan Park. Okay, we had received that. We just wanted the public to be aware of it. I guess Senator Manchin and Nick Saban are going to be participating in that event.
So I've heard.
We can release further details once we receive them on what they're planning to do that day.
Okay. Next item is an email from WV First Foundation, Region 4 Representative John Dower, announcing the opening of the application period for funding opportunities through the WV First Foundation.
Their application is going to 4 different priority areas: diversion programs and introduction programs, youth prevention and workforce development, child advocacy centers, and neonatal abstinence syndrome programs, and transitional recovery housing expansion. And so they are taking applications. They're asking for folks to submit a letter of intent to apply, but the actual applications are due October 5th.
Okay.
And they apply through the West Virginia First Foundation, not through us.
Okay.
Yeah, this is a separate set of funding.
Correct.
As from our grant process that we went through earlier in the year.
Yeah.
This is through the state First Foundation. So if you applied here and were either approved or denied, you can still apply to that fund as if you never applied here. So
Do we have contact information or anything? The email provide
You
contact
just
information?
Go to the website, westvirginiafirst.org/grant.
Okay. All right. Any other correspondence?
One other. Got a nice letter from the Health Department thanking the commission for approval of their opioid application for county funds, and that is going to the Smile Express program.
Okay.
great.
Any other correspondence?
I don't have any.
Commissioner Arnett?
No, sir.
I don't have any. Unfinished business, we have none. New business. Consideration of requisition number 94 for the University Town Center Economic Opportunity Development District subaccount.
The requisition is for $1,007,075.65.
Move to approve the requisition number 894 as presented.
Second, and I track these regularly on them, and we're trending just a little bit behind last year, but only about like 1.89%. But the numbers are coming in fairly consistent, but just a little bit behind last year. So we have a first and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, motion passes. Consideration to approve requisition number 92 for the University Town Center Excise Tax District Administrative Expense Fund.
Requisition is for $1,750. This is payable to Municap for some additional arbitrage calculations that they did.
Okay.
Move to approve requisition 92 as presented.
I'll second that. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Consideration to approve opening of cost offers received in response to RFP 2024 MCC 004 HVAC System Support Services. And I would suggest that the motion would be to approve the opening of the cost offers and authorization of staff to complete final evaluation steps and ultimately make a final recommendation to the commission.
So moved.
Okay? Just before we open them, I just want to give a little bit of background. The original responses to the RFP were opened on 8/14/24. At that time, the responses were opened and they were separated, technical offer versus cost offer. The responses were received from A. Duar Incorporated, or ADI, Casto Technical Services, and MCOR Services. Technical evaluations of the three offers were conducted and completed last Friday, and the scores were compiled. Next step is to open up cost offers and have them evaluated for responsiveness, which is what we're doing here. Once that's done, the cost and technical scores will be weighted, and if necessary, negotiations will be conducted. And then once those steps are completed, a recommendation for award will be presented to the commission. So
Okay.
that's a little bit of the background. So you want to go ahead and open them?
Sure. Do we vote? After? Okay.
Well,
Well, you
all
made
those
the
in favor
motion.
say aye.
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 Sorry.
You made the motion, I seconded it.
Right.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
All right.
Go
First,
ahead.
we have the cost proposal for CAS Technical Services out of Charleston. So I'm going to open this.
That was Casto, I believe that was a typo.
Casto, yeah. Three copies and
Yes, sir. So they have all the costs per location?
per location. I don't see a total.
That's okay. So they.
Oh, no, there is an annual premium. Pricing exception is $46,836.
Okay.
Plus for Casto. MCOR Services. envelopes inside of envelopes. Again, broken out, not totaled, so far as I can tell.
Okay, we'll have to add them up, but
Yeah.
there are costs for each location.
Each location as well, yes. It's just, there's not a summary sheet with the sum total, so.
Okay.
Do you want me to add them up while you're opening the other
Sure.
one?
I don't want to do public math, so Sean warns me about that all the time. And finally, ADI. This is from ADI, and again, not totaled. So, if you want to take a look, make sure I'm not missing it. It's again broken down by location.
Yeah. Just take 1 second.
Do you want there's two alternates here. Do you want those added into the total?
No.
Okay. So this is, can you write the firm that submitted that one? Is that MCOR?
This one was in court.
Okay.
So the total on the M Corp, 45,310.
Okay.
M Core, not M Corp, sorry.
Okay. And the total on the ADI proposal was $73,035.57.
Okay,
So all these will be evaluated to make sure that they were responsive. They will be, as I indicated, there's cost scores will be compiled, and then they'll be combined with the technical scores as applicable, and recommendation will be brought back to commission.
great.
Okay, all right. Any other new business?
Yes, the county clerk's office has submitted the poll workers that were submitted to them by the Democratic and Republican executive committees that need to be approved by you all so that the clerk's office can then start filling vacancies
Okay.
in any precincts.
Okay.
Poll workers, I'm not sure if I said that, poll workers.
When did we receive these?
Well, I've received them this morning. I talked to the clerk's office yesterday afternoon.
Okay. I assume there's some reason why they were so late in getting these in.
I can't really tell you that. I talked to Kim Rose, who handles most of the poll workers, and she wasn't aware that they needed to be on the agenda.
Okay.
Okay.
So,
But just take a quick glance.
they're preparing to send letters out to all of those folks.
Seems to be
And I assume there's an urgency because, I mean,
Sure,
The
some
letters need to
states
go
are
out
starting
tomorrow.
election, starting counting next week.
right. I would
So, and I know,
move to approve the poll workers as presented.
okay, I'll second that. All those in favor say aye.
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 As a side note, I did ask her that if there was any other items that need commission approval, to get me a list of those dates so that we know when to expect things to come up and be on the agenda.
Perfect.
Okay, all right. Any other new business?
That is all.
Okay. Next item on the agenda is reports on elected officials and/or department supervisors. Ms. Music.
Morning.
Morning, Mark.
Morning.
Just as a reminder that October 1st is coming up very soon, and that's the deadline for getting the personal property assessment returns in. And we will be sending out reminders in the next couple of days to those, as we're working on the reports now for those that haven't turned anything in yet. So we'll be sending those reminders out to those taxpayers.
Great.
And that's it.
Thank you. I'm one of those taxpayers. I'll walk up after the meeting. And
You were first on the list.
yeah, with the A's, I'm not too far off.
Yeah, we were close. But I just wanted to make sure we got that out to everyone there, so we can get this stuff closed out.
I appreciate it.
All right, thanks.
Thank you very much,
Thank you
Mark.
very much, Mark. Anyone else?
Good to see you, Commissioners. We're at Dukes Mayor Congressman Mooney's office. As you know, Congress is back in session. They'll be working on the budget. But also, I wanted to extend Congressman Mooney's thanks, and he was very, very well pleased. Last Tuesday, we took a tour of the Mecca 911 Center with Executive Director Smith, and the Congressman was very impressed. And he had a really good time, and I just wanted to pass that on because he asked me to when I appear here before y'all. Beautiful view too, by the way.
Yes, it is.
But thank you.
Great.
Be
Thank
real
you.
nice
And
when
also,
that
support
interchange
for
is
any
done.
grants. Just let you know, we always do that. So,
Absolutely.
All
Thank
right,
you.
thank
Brett.
you.
yes, sir.
Anybody else? Okay, reports from county commissioners. Jeff?
Just a few things. There's a planning commission meeting tonight. There's an item on the agenda that's received a lot of public input. So I'd recommend if you're involved in that area and have input to give, please show up either online or at the meeting tonight. It'd be remiss if I didn't mention a 9/11. Fortunately, I didn't know anyone personally that passed that day, as Commissioner Secure, I'm sure will mention that he did, as he stated in the past. But, of course, that event affected us all in ways that we'll probably never really be able to quantify. And, everyone remembers where they were at the time and our thoughts and the phrase thoughts and prayers gets thrown around a lot, and it's kind of hollow. But I think in a situation like this, it's appropriate that we continue to keep those in mind and thank all those that rushed right in there that day and put their lives on the line to save those that were in the buildings. And anyway, that's all I have with that. It is Pit Week, so Commissioner Bloom wasn't here to give his little under his breath after the pledge, so I'll say it for him, beat Pitt. And I always say my grandmother in her later years didn't know much of as far as recognizing people, but on her a few days before she died, she would still say, "Eat blank Pitt." So at 90-some years old, so we'll echo that sentiment, and I hope we have a good week up there. So
Thank you, Jeff. Since our last meeting last Thursday, broadband tag up with our local technical team, but our internal technical team. Friday staff reports and went to the Mylan Park pickleball court grand opening. Those are beautiful courts that they opened as of last Friday. Yesterday, the administrator and I had our regular HR call. Today's a regular day, no special work sessions. I have a meeting with the administrator after this meeting, and then I'm going to attempt to go to the unveiling of the mural out at Cheat Lake Volunteer Fire Department, where Joel Dugan and his students from Fairmont State did a 9/11 mural that they're going to unveil at noon. Tomorrow is my second Thursday of the month, so it's a day stacked with meetings, the MAP Executive Committee meeting, Red Team meeting, and Development Authority meeting. Friday, we have staff reports, and I have a meeting with the internal broadband team, and then a meeting with the Comcast team. Saturday is supposed to be our monthly breakfast, and of course, as Commissioner Arnett had mentioned, it is the pit game. Sunday, for those of you with your furry friends, the Aquatic and Track Center is having the dog days at the splash pad.
Nice.
So in case you're interested, I always miss the one at Marilla when they close the pool. They have a dog days last of the season, and I always miss it, so might try to make that one. And of course, as we all remember, today's the 23rd anniversary of the 9/11 attacks. The World Trade Center attack, there was 2,753 people lost their lives. 343 of those were firemen. The Pentagon, 184 people lost their lives. And in Shanksville, 40 people lost their lives. So we did a bell ringing this morning before at exactly 8:46, and I appreciate a lot of the county employees coming out to observe a moment of silence at that point. Today's the day, just like it was 23 years ago. You look up, not a cloud in the sky, beautiful day, and just like that, the whole world was turned upside down. So please take a few extra moments to remember those that were impacted, that lost their lives, were impacted, and in some way or another, it's impacted us all. So take a few minutes to do something special today to remember that. We just got through probably the first and maybe the only presidential debate last night, and today's a good time to just forget about all the fighting and forget that, we have different letters beside our names, that we come from different backgrounds and different nationalities, and just remember that we're all neighbors, and, keep that in mind. So I'll entertain a motion to adjourn if
So
there's
moved.
nothing else.
So moved.
Second, all those in favor say aye.
All right.
We're adjourned.